With the popularity of retro gaming growing exponentially, it's no surprise that RPG developers have returned to the isometric format, appealing to the rich, nostalgic memories of time spent grinding through Icewind Dale or Baldur's Gate. Two of the most popular stars of this revival are Pillars of Eternity and Divinity: Original Sin. Pillars of Eternity takes the more old-school approach, but Divinity's Larian Studios is by no means a lightweight game. Which is more worth your time? Listen up and find out. The first big difference between the two games can be seen in how they're designed to be played. Simply put, Divinity: Original Sin has a strong design focus on cooperative play and is definitely at its best when enjoyed with a friend. Pillars of Eternity is a strictly single-player affair, so if you're more of a lone wolf, Divinity: Original Sin can feel unwieldy. While if you're strictly looking to play with a friend, Pillars of Eternity won't be for you. The question of which game has the stronger plot is difficult to answer. Pillars of Eternity has much more ambitious writing and does its best to pull the player into a world with a complex history. However, its reliance on jargon can be baffling to the new player, and it'll drown you in information if you're not careful. Divinity: Original Sin does things a lot more by the numbers, with a more whimsical tone. It's easier to digest, but far less deep. Die-hard fantasy nuts will probably prefer Pillars of Eternity, but if you're not into reading big chunks of text in your games on a regular basis, Divinity is the better pick. At first glance, the combat systems of the two games might seem similar, but appearances can be deceiving. Divinity's combat is more strictly turn-based and considerably more action-oriented. From exploding barrels to clouds of poison gas, there's a heavy focus on elemental effects, such as soaking enemies in rain before electrocuting them. Pillars of Eternity's system is more complex, less immediately accessible, and a heck of a lot harder. Whereas players in Original Sin tend to become more or less invincible later in the game, Pillars has a robust difficulty curve. For those of you looking for a nuanced combat system, we'd recommend Pillars of Eternity. Isometric RPGs have always been more about their writing than their graphics. That said, visuals matter. They're part and parcel of how a game tells its story. This is one major area in which we felt Obsidian let us down. Pillars of Eternity has some very uninspired backdrops, from drab ruins to mouldering villages. Even in its richer settings, the graphics don't quite tell the story that the writing does. Supposedly crowded cities feel sparse and empty. Dense forests come off looking like abandoned parkland. Divinity: Original Sin, with its rich colour palettes, gorgeous models, and fantastic visual effects, is the clear winner here, despite the occasional beautiful setting in Pillars of Eternity. The way the two games tell their stories is undoubtedly different. Divinity: Original Sin harks back to the age of retro RPGs in a nostalgic way while refreshing the format. It's far more accessible than Pillars of Eternity, which is a retro RPG. Some players will feel that Pillars is a more pure experience, offering a chance to relive the charm of games gone by. However, that purity brings with it inaccessibility, which will definitely put some players off. Thanks to their different development styles, choosing between Divinity: Original Sin and Pillars of Eternity is more about preference than which game is better. As a purely story-driven experience, Pillars of Eternity promises endless hours of side quests and narrative to get lost in. If you want a more fantastical fantasy experience, however, Divinity might just provide the splash of colour you're looking for.
This video has been brought to you by Jinx TV. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and check out these other videos. Also, if you want to see more of our shows, check out our website, jinx.tv.